She never
This is our
expected
solar
a simple
system.
morning
Wow, is that
came to
Saturn?
life
Yes, famous rings.
You're a
the
natural
moment their lips
astronomer.
met, standing between two cars in that busy school parking lot, everything shifted, a transformation neither of them saw coming, but one they both desperately needed. If you're moved by this story of unexpected connection, please hit that like button and subscribe to see more content that reminds us how life's greatest gifts often arrive in ordinary moments. The alarm blared at 5:45 a.m., and Marcus Reynolds groaned as he reached over to silence it. The early October chill had settled into his bedroom, making the warm cocoon of blankets nearly impossible to leave. But like every morning for the past 3 years, duty called in the form of a 7-year-old who needed breakfast, a packed lunch, and transportation to school. "Lily?" Marcus called, his voice still rough with sleep as he padded down the hallway to his daughter's room. "Time to get up, sweetheart." The small lump under the purple comforter didn't stir. Marcus smiled despite his exhaustion. Some battles were worth avoiding, especially on a Monday morning. He'd give her 10 more minutes. In the kitchen, Marcus moved with practiced efficiency, brewing coffee and assembling Lily's lunch. Peanut butter and strawberry jam on wheat bread, cut diagonally the way she insisted made it taste better. Apple slices, carefully treated with lemon juice to prevent browning. A small container of yogurt and a handwritten note with a silly joke. "Today's red, what do you call a fake noodle?" "An impasta." Lily would roll her eyes, but he knew she saved every one. Being both mother and father to Lily hadn't been the plan. When his wife Amanda died from complications during childbirth, Marcus had been thrust into single parenthood with no preparation, his grief compounded by the responsibility of raising their daughter alone. 3 years of therapy and countless sleepless nights later, he had cobbled together a life that worked, more or less. Their routine was sacred, the framework that kept them both functioning when everything else felt uncertain. "Daddy, I can't find my blue headband," Lily announced, shuffling into the kitchen with her curly brown hair, so like her mother's, sticking out in all directions. "Did you check the bathroom drawer?" "That's where I put it yesterday after I found it in the living room," Marcus replied, pouring milk over the bowl of cereal he'd prepared. Lily disappeared without a word, returning moments later with the missing headband and a triumphant expression. As she ate her breakfast, Marcus packed his own lunch and gathered the materials for his architecture firm. After Amanda died, he'd negotiated a flexible schedule that allowed him to drop Lily at school and pick her up most days, working from home when necessary. His boss had been understanding, up to a point. Lately, the pointed comments about his limited availability for evening client meetings had become more frequent. "Teeth brushed?" Marcus asked as he helped Lily into her coat 20 minutes later. "Check." "Homework in your folder?" "Check." "Hug for your old dad?" Lily giggled and wrapped her arms around his waist. "Check." The morning drive to Oak Ridge Elementary was a 15-minute journey through their suburban neighborhood. Lily chatted about her upcoming science project while Marcus made appropriate noises of interest, his mind already jumping ahead to the client presentation he needed to finish by noon. The school drop-off line was, as always, a chaotic tangle of vehicles and harried parents. Marcus had long ago learned that arriving 15 minutes early was the key to maintaining his sanity. He pulled into his usual spot near the playground entrance and helped Lily gather her belongings. That's when he first noticed her, a woman in a navy blue sedan 3 cars down, frantically trying to secure what looked like a science project in her back seat while simultaneously searching for something in her purse. Even from a distance, her frustration was palpable. "Daddy, can I go to the playground until the bell?" Lily asked, already halfway out of the car. "Sure, sweetheart. I'll watch from here," Marcus replied, his eyes still on the struggling woman. When the poster board and what appeared to be a solar system model tumbled onto the ground outside her car, he made a decision. "Actually, wait here a minute, Lil." Without overthinking it, Marcus approached the woman's car. "Need a hand?" he offered. She looked up, startled. Close up, he could see the dark circles under her eyes and the way her hands trembled slightly. Her honey blonde hair was pulled back in a messy ponytail, and she wore scrubs under her open coat. God, yes, please, she said with a self-deprecating laugh. Third-grade solar system project that was apparently due today, not Friday like I thought. I'm Sophie, by the way. Sophie Chen. Walking disaster. Marcus Reynolds, and trust me, I understand completely, he replied, carefully lifting the model from the ground. My daughter once informed me at bedtime that she needed 24 cupcakes for school the next morning. Sophie's laugh was genuine this time, the tension in her shoulders easing slightly. What did you do? Drove to 3 different grocery stores at 10 p.m. and then stayed up until 2 a.m. decorating store-bought cupcakes to look homemade, Marcus admitted. Single-parent badge of honor. Something flickered in Sophie's eyes, recognition, perhaps. Single mom here too, she said, gesturing to the back seat where a boy about Lily's age was playing a handheld game, oblivious to the chaos. That's Noah. We moved here 2 months ago for my new position at Mercy Hospital. I'm still trying to figure out the whole work-life balance thing. It gets easier, Marcus assured her, though he wasn't entirely convinced of that himself. Or at least, you get better at faking it. Together, they managed to secure the solar system model with the seatbelt. Noah finally looked up, eyeing Marcus suspiciously. Who are you? The boy asked bluntly. Noah. Sophie scolded. Manners, please. I'm just a fellow parent offering assistance in the morning chaos, Marcus explained with a smile. Nice solar system, by the way. Jupiter looks particularly impressive. Noah's expression brightened. I painted the great red spot myself. Mom helped with the rings on Saturn. Well, you both did an excellent job, Marcus said. He glanced at his watch. I should get back to my daughter. Sophie touched his arm lightly. Thank you. Seriously. Some days it feels like I'm drowning in everything I need to do. Marcus nodded, understanding exactly what she meant. Same time tomorrow? I promise to have a fresh cup of coffee waiting if you promise not to have any planetary emergencies. Her smile was warm and genuine. Deal. And so began their morning ritual. Each day, Marcus would arrive early with 2 cups of coffee, one black, one with a splash of cream and sugar after he learned Sophie's preference. They would chat for 10 minutes while their children played on the playground before the bell. Sometimes the conversations were light-hearted, Sophie recounting an amusing patient story, or Marcus describing his latest architectural challenge. Other times, they ventured into deeper territory, the loneliness of single parenthood, the guilt that seemed inescapable no matter what choices they made. Marcus learned that Sophie was a pediatric nurse whose ex-husband had moved across the country with his new wife, leaving her to raise Noah alone. Sophie discovered that Marcus's wife had died, and that he still wore his wedding ring despite it being 7 years since Amanda's passing. Neither pushed the other for more than they were willing to share, creating a comfortable space where vulnerabilities could exist without judgment. You know, Sophie said one morning in November as they watched their children playing tag, these coffee chats are sometimes the only adult conversation I have all day that doesn't involve medical jargon or teacher conferences. Marcus nodded, understanding completely. Same. My co-workers try, but there's always this awkward dance around certain topics. Like they're afraid mentioning family dinners or marriage spats will somehow break me. The fragile single-parent syndrome, Sophie agreed. Noah's teacher speaks to me in this soft, pitying voice that makes me want to scream, I'm divorced, not terminally ill. Their laughter drew curious glances from passing parents, most of whom remained sealed in their vehicles, scrolling through phones while waiting for the school bell. Marcus had noticed how their daily meeting had begun to attract attention, the knowing smiles, the occasional whispered comment. He'd even overheard Lily telling a friend that Daddy talks to Noah's mom every morning, and he brushes his teeth twice before we leave. The thought made him self-conscious, but not enough to change their routine. These morning conversations had become a lifeline in ways he hadn't realized he needed. As Thanksgiving approached, Sophie mentioned that she and Noah would be alone for the holiday, with her parents cruising in the Mediterranean and no other family nearby. "You could join us," Marcus offered before he could overthink it. "Lily and I are having a small gathering with my sister's family. Nothing fancy, but plenty of food and decent company." Sophie hesitated. "I wouldn't want to impose." "You wouldn't be," Marcus assured her. "Actually, you'd be rescuing me from my sister's interrogation about my social life. She's convinced I'm becoming a hermit." "Are you?" Sophie asked, her head tilted slightly, studying him. Marcus considered the question. "Maybe. It's easier sometimes, you know. Dating as a single parent is complicated. Every relationship becomes about more than just two people." Sophie nodded slowly. "The last man I dated ran for the hills when Noah had a meltdown during dinner. Said he wasn't ready for instant fatherhood, as if I was asking him to adopt my son after 3 dates. His loss," Marcus said simply, meaning it. He'd come to admire Sophie's strength, her unwavering dedication to Noah, and the way she managed to maintain her sense of humor despite the exhaustion that often shadowed her eyes. "So, Thanksgiving? No pressure, but you'd be very welcome." Sophie's smile lit up her entire face. "We'd love to come. Should we bring anything?" "Just yourselves," Marcus replied, ignoring the flutter in his chest at her acceptance. It wasn't a date, he reminded himself. Just friends helping friends during the holidays. Thanksgiving proved to be a turning point. Watching Sophie interact with his family, laughing at his brother-in-law's terrible jokes, helping his sister in the kitchen, engaging Lily in conversation about her art project, Marcus felt something shift inside him. A door he had kept firmly closed for 7 years creaked open, just a fraction. Noah and Lily, despite initial wariness, bonded over a shared love of a popular animated series and disappeared into Lily's room to play. When Marcus checked on them later, he found them constructing an elaborate fort using every blanket and pillow in the house. "I should probably rescue my comforter," he told Sophie as they cleared the dinner plates, "but they look so happy." "Let them be," Sophie suggested. "Noah hasn't made many friends since we moved. This is the most animated I've seen him in months." Later, as they stood side by side washing dishes, Marcus having waved off his sister's offers to help, Sophie bumped his hip gently with hers. "Thank you for this," she said quietly. "For including us. It means more than you know." Marcus looked down at her, struck by how right it felt to have her in his kitchen, in his home. "Thank you for coming. It's been nice. More than nice." Something unspoken passed between them, a current of possibility that neither was quite ready to acknowledge. Sophie broke the moment first, flicking soapy water at him with a laugh. "You missed a spot on that serving platter, Mr. Reynolds. I expected better from someone so detail-oriented." Marcus grinned, grateful for the return to safer ground. "I'm saving it for later." Strategic dish-washing is an art form. As December arrived, their morning routine expanded. Marcus began arriving 20 minutes earlier, and sometimes they would walk together after drop-off, extending their time together before heading to their respective workplaces. He found himself looking forward to these moments with an anticipation that both excited and terrified him. One morning, after a particularly heavy snowfall, Marcus arrived to find Sophie struggling to clear her windshield, her scraper having broken mid-task. "Here, use mine," he offered, handing over his sturdy brush. "My hero," Sophie declared dramatically, placing a gloved hand over her heart. "Saving me from planetary disasters and now snow monsters. Is there anything you can't do?" "Cook risotto," Marcus admitted. "I've tried 7 times. 7 failures. I'm beginning to take it personally." Sophie's laugh created a cloud in the frigid air. "I make a decent risotto. Maybe I could teach you sometime." The invitation hung between them, weighted with possibilities. Before Marcus could respond, Noah called out from the car, complaining about the cold. "Duty calls," Sophie said with a rueful smile. "But I meant it about the risotto." "I'll hold you to that," Marcus replied, suddenly feeling like a teenager again, nervous and hopeful all at once. As Christmas approached, their children's growing friendship provided more opportunities for them to spend time together outside of school drop-offs. Lily invited Noah to her school's holiday concert, which led to ice cream afterward, which somehow turned into weekend trips to the museum and movie nights alternating between their homes. Each encounter deepened their connection, though neither Marcus nor Sophie directly addressed the growing attraction between them. There were moments, their hands brushing as they reached for popcorn, lingering glances over the children's heads during a movie, conversations that extended late into the night after the kids had fallen asleep, that suggested they were moving toward something more than friendship. But always, one or both would pull back at the crucial moment, retreating to the safety of their established boundaries. "Why don't you just kiss her already?" Lily asked bluntly one evening after Sophie and Noah had left their home following a game night. Marcus nearly choked on his water. "Excuse me?" "You like her," Lily stated matter-of-factly. "She likes you." Noah says his mom smiles all the time now and keeps buying new sweaters. Marcus ran a hand through his hair, unsure how to navigate this conversation with his precocious daughter. "It's complicated, Lil." "Because of Mom?" Lily asked softly. The question struck him like a physical blow. Lily rarely mentioned Amanda, though her photograph sat prominently on their mantle, and Marcus had always made sure his daughter knew about the mother she'd never met. Partly, Marcus admitted, deciding honesty was the best approach. And partly because we're both parents. Any decision we make affects you and Noah too. Lily considered this, her small face serious. "I like Noah. And I like Ms. Sophie. She doesn't talk to me like I'm a baby, and she knows how to braid hair really good." She paused, then added with the brutal directness of a 7-year-old, "Mom would want you to be happy, Daddy. Grammy says so." Marcus pulled his daughter into a tight hug, blinking back unexpected tears. "When did you get so wise, huh?" "I'm almost 8, Lily reminded him with exaggerated patience. "That's practically grown up." That night, Marcus stared at his wedding ring for a long time before carefully removing it and placing it in the small jewelry box that contained Amanda's rings. He wasn't ready to put it away permanently, but for the first time, he could imagine a future where he might. The next morning, Sophie noticed immediately. Her eyes widened slightly as she accepted her coffee from his now ringless hand, but she made no comment. Instead, she talked about Noah's upcoming birthday and her parents' planned visit in February. Yet there was a new awareness between them, a current of anticipation that made their usual conversation feel charged with unspoken possibilities. January brought record cold temperatures and a water main break that closed the school for 3 days. On the first day, Marcus worked from home while Lily completed packet work her teacher had sent. By the second day, cabin fever had set in, and on impulse, he texted Sophie, children bouncing off walls. Heading to indoor trampoline park to channel energy constructively. "Care to join us?" Her response came quickly, Noah already in car. ETA 20 minutes. "We'll bring coffee reinforcements." The trampoline park proved to be exactly what they all needed. The children burned off their restless energy while Marcus and Sophie watched from a table near the concession stand, sharing a plate of mediocre nachos and swapping stories from their own childhood snow days. "I once built an igloo so sturdy I could sit inside it," Marcus boasted. "Took me and my brother 3 days." "Impressive," Sophie acknowledged. "I once sled down the biggest hill in our neighborhood during an ice storm. Broke my arm in 2 places and still maintain it was worth it." "Rebel," Marcus teased, enjoying the way her eyes crinkled when she laughed.